Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I'm rolling home on a Thursday, which is like the end of my work week. No, shit, it's Wednesday. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Okay, that sucks. All right, I really thought we were done. I was picking my kids up. We're gonna go get some frozen soft serve and make it one hell of a day to celebrate the cream team on the Yak coming through. But let's get down to business here. Last night, I did a live stream with my buddy Jeremy, his channel, Rockin' Knowles. We're trying to get that thing off the ground on his channel. We go live normally on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, at least once a week. We get that thing going. We had an emergency cast last week. We did it on a Sunday. And just to knock it out, we talk about what's going on in the world of wrestling. We try to branch out into going to a lot of other things. In my closing segment, basically, I threw him a question that I had seen a lot of headlines talking about the fact that WrestleMania 41 did so well in Las Vegas that I think they're locking it down that 42 is going to be making the return trip. It is basically all been announced. I went through, I read all the stories today to try and see why the headlines were so strong yesterday that Las Vegas is going to win out on this. Immediately, there was a lot of people throwing up, the guesses of Saudi Arabia would get it because of their mucho dinero. London has deserved and been told they're getting a WrestleMania for such a long time. That they really seemed like they deserved it. The Super Bowl was going to be in Santa Clara this year, and WrestleMania a lot, seems to follow around. So I threw out Santa Clara. Maybe they would get it. Mexico because of the CMLL deal and the war against AAA. Trying to make that company bigger by bringing WrestleMania to Mexico City. Minnesota, I feel bad for you. You basically have been in the running since about WrestleMania 31, and you still don't have it. You got that beautiful stadium up there where the Vikings play, but I think so many people are scared about it, just being cold. If we got some sort of like a storm during the spring. And I think that's one of the reasons why nobody wants to mess with Minnesota. You guys have done the Super Bowl. You guys have done the Final Four. Maybe one day. Maybe one day it'll really come through. But as I read through the stories, basically it was thrown out that that the concert that had been planned, it had not been announced, and Las Vegas is making ways to move the concert, and that Allegiant Stadium will be available for WrestleMania to be able to have their 2 days for the two shows, as well as be able to set up and make way for there. One more thing that was thrown out there was that the convention center that hosted WWE World as well as the Superstore, it is halfway booked, so they would only have half of the space that they had at WrestleMania. No word on what is going down with that, but I can tell you this much: is there is that convention center is one of the largest ones in the world. It's one of the largest ones in the United States. They could have one or the other there, and maybe they could split it up. I think they have done the Superstore and Access / the World combined in the same place for so long that I think they could honestly break it up if they put the Superstores inside of various hotels that they had. Maybe just don't do one mega one. I think it would, one of my biggest cons, I guess you can say, against the Superstore this year is that, when I have gone in the past, even though it hasn't been in 9 years, you could go and you could get a Braun Breaker shirt. You could get a Rhea Ripley shirt. It seemed like this year, if you weren't going to the store for a WrestleMania shirt, a John Cena shirt, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, CM Punk, you were kind of out of luck. They didn't have the most popular shirts on the Superstore. I think most people go to WrestleMania. They pick stuff up off the WWE shop on a sale. They put it in their luggage. That's kind of my tip, because you get it on a deal. You go to the Superstore, you're paying full price, if not a markup, on everything that's in there. But people still want to go, and they still want to buy a belt, and they want to buy a shirt, and they want to buy this, that, and the other, just to say that they did it. That's kind of maybe they'll find a spot. Maybe the Mandalay Bay will open up a larger section for them to have a giant Superstore. So the Superstore maybe be kind of closer to where the stadium is, but maybe they still have their meet and greets with the world out there. When I was planning on going to WrestleMania in Las Vegas last year, I made the decision that I was going no matter what, because I wanted to have the WrestleMania experience. I had a lot of fun in Vegas. I did basically almost everything that I wanted to do. It kind of scares me that WrestleMania is going to be in Vegas again, and I've kind of done everything that there is on my list. I don't know. I think it would take one hell of a matchup that would be planned for me to say that, like, I want to go to Las Vegas. I live close enough that I can make a decision after the Royal Rumble, after Elimination Chamber, once a match is named. I really thought that we were going to get Rock versus Cody, just like almost everybody else out there in the wrestling world. I thought that was going to be the guaranteed match. And as the dirt sheets were coming out and they were saying, like, Rock's not even going to be there and so forth, I was kind of like, man, we're screwed. And we got saved. Cena versus Cody was one hell of a matchup that sold tickets, that made people want to go to Las Vegas to be able to see that. Obviously, because John Cena's retirement, we're not going to get that match next year. So are we going to get, like, Roman versus Cody 3? Or what is the sexy matchup that it's going to sell tickets for WrestleMania 42? I'm not going down the Rock street. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not falling for it. The Rock's got to be standing in the ring before I believe he's coming back to WWE. I've fallen for it year after year after year. I've fallen for hoping for Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk. I don't know what match they're going to do. Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes as a WWE Championship match kind of seems like one of the biggest matches that they could do, other than, Cody versus Roman 3. So I don't know what the plan is. I'm not really sure on what they're getting to. We're not at that point of the year that you can tell what you think they're building towards, who's going to win the Rumble. But we'll have to see. WrestleMania in Las Vegas, I'll tell you the truth, if you're a first-timer, it's going to be one hell of a thing. One of the cons that I have against the West Coast shows is that they kind of start early. So you can plan on going out and doing something, like going out and getting some drinks or going to Fremont Street after WrestleMania. I'll tell you the truth, from a WrestleMania vet, I know that I'm a little bit older. I was kind of gassed after WrestleMania. I think I just kind of made back the trip back to the room and kind of hung out after there. But if you're a young buck, I mean, you can go out and you can do things, because it's not too late when WrestleMania ends. The hardest part, honestly, was getting out of the stadium and then getting to where the monorail was to ride it all the way back to my room, because I was staying at the north end. If you're staying somewhere at the south end, it might be kind of hard to get an actual ride, like an Uber ride out there, because the Uber situation leaving Allegiant Stadium was beyond the point of horrible. It was bad. I'm sure everybody saw that. But I really like the shows on the East Coast that start later, so you can get more during the day. I was kind of pressed at WrestleCon, really thinking, like, I can't be here all day because I got to start making my way there. I don't want to repeat of 32 where I can't get into the arena. So I don't know. That's what's going on in the world. hopefully you guys are thinking about that. But I don't know when the announcement's going to get made. Last year it was made at the Kentucky Derby. I don't think, I'm pretty sure the NBA doesn't have anything to do with the NBA Finals. So I don't see them announcing it unless they just really have Tyrese Halliburton go rogue and say it into a camera, kind of like Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman for WCW back in the day. That would be big, but I think they might piss off some of the people out there. But they've never ever done any business with ESPN or what is that, ABC? Yeah, I think they're gonna do the finals. So, we'll see what's going down. Peace out, everybody.